I'm sitting up here by Chase Bank. It's the irony. I called them today. Again, I talked to the research lady. It was a good conversation. She's above this customer service cock block bullshit that happens here at the branch. And she could look up and see all the transactions that were occurring and verified that they were what they call purging the accounts. So they're transferring all the assets into the new business package, the complete business checking, I think it's called. And so when they did the chargeback, the credits aren't coming back into that account, which even she found strange. So, because there's evidence of a chargeback. One of them, get this, supposedly, I initiated a chargeback against PayPal for a test deposit for 18 cents. So they credited 16 cents and 2 cents for a test deposit, and then, you go verify your account with the test deposit, and then they take it back in one withdrawal. And I got a statement the other day from Chase Bank, saying that I initiated a chargeback on the 18 cents, that I was contesting PayPal taking that 18 cents back. I mean, I know, no one gets it. I know, no one understands. You probably don't even understand how funny that really fucking is. Why would I do that? And I didn't do that. But supposedly May 13th, I called him too. She was able to tell me it was done with a representative over the phone, right? So supposedly I called up Chase Bank, spoke with the claims representative, and initiated a chargeback against PayPal for 18 cents for a test deposit withdrawal. That was rightfully their 18 cents, for Christ's sake. They're the ones that put the 16 cents and the 2 cents in there. It never occurred to me, that you could contest that shit. And again, why would I? What point would that have made to do? Anyways, so it's just a little bit crazy, but she was able to look at it. It was a really good conversation. I talked to her for probably 45 minutes, and I called the main customer service branch, and I've been getting this bullshit from them that my address is all of a sudden not verifying. She says to me, half your address doesn't match. And I go, half my address doesn't match. Like, you want the billing account or the mailing address? Because those are two different fucking addresses. And I gave her both of them, and they're the same ones that have been on there the whole time. So that's not new. But yeah, that's what I get from the 800, oh my God, they got bright all of a sudden, 800 call Chase shit. So, but it was crazy. I got this letter in the mail from, get this, from the Federal Reserve in Westerville, Ohio, where they have a drop box and they process the paper checks that you mail in for Chase. And thank God I've only been banking through the mail. I learned my lesson with Wells Fargo to stay the fuck out of the branch. That's where things always go bad and wrong, because that's where they're trained wrong. And there's just stupid people in high-paying jobs that think that they know everything. Well, because I get paid well. They don't understand they get paid well to be stupid. They get paid well because they're fucking stupid and believe stupid bullshit and don't bother checking on it. So anyways, that's what I've been doing. And so I get back my canceled checks like I should, with the right numbers on there, and everything's processed the way it should. But I got this weird one where it came back to me with the name of the business misspelled by one letter, and the address was the wrong zip code, right? Well, the wrong last 4 letters. And it was handwritten on top of it, which is kind of weird. And it was the only one out of, God, just how many statements and documents? I want to say at least 200. There's probably 200 total between the accounts and everything that's been going on with the, the purge and everything else. Probably 200 documents, and they're into categories. You can, the return address for certain kinds of information is the statements are a different one. These claims of me contesting PayPal and shit come from another one, and then this one is unique to itself. And like I said, the letters. So I talked to the research lady, and it was a deposit for $5,000. It went through, and I had scared me. I had the canceled check in my hand when I called her, and I gave her the string of numbers, and they're absolutely valid. They absolutely fit in line with that time and that day and everything. And I couldn't have made that shit up if I tried, because it's like I don't even know how many digits. The ACH rolls how many fucking digits, and the zeros have to be in the right spot, and they're not just placeholders anymore. And it's like I couldn't have guessed all those numbers if I tried. And to have it fit in the valid payment line for that exact time frame, but not show anywhere. Blew her fucking mind. Mine too. But it was weird, because that's where I got this number, right? And so when I called them, this number that was on this piece of paper that came back with this check that there's just no record of anymore, she thought I was a Chase employee. And she starts asking me for like something, and I didn't know what she was asking. I don't know what that is. And she's like, well, aren't you a Chase employee? And I said, no, I'm an account holder. And she's like, oh, well, okay, well, what's your name? And, what's the address? And verified the shit on there. And then she completely talked to me, no problem. Like, absolutely talked to me, but she was absolutely surprised, too, that I had that number. It's nowhere unless you're an employee of Chase. So what the fuck's going on with that shit? And the letter said to send the check back with another check matching it. But I hesitate to do that because there's all this information on there. Maybe just take copies. I don't know. What address do I send it to? The bank by mail? It had a stamp on there that I've never seen. And it's the only one that has that. Or two stamps, actually. Two different stamps. It's the check that's got stamps on it. Like, you just don't see this shit anymore. I haven't seen checks with stamps on them since, before the 90s, early 90s, like 93, 94, I was still getting my checks back. So they would have, canceled on them. But, you don't get your checks back anymore. They keep them. And then they say shit. They're like, oh, this is a bad check, but there's no stamp from the bank saying that, which is what's required. You have to show that it was presented in the branch, and an employee of the branch verified that they were not going to pay that check. And it's never happened. It's not once. All the times that they've said, oh, the bank didn't pay, is a bunch of lies. Never one time have they been able to return the check with the stamp on it that says that. It's electronically converted, and then, and a port sniffer goes and smells some account, and it doesn't work. So, I don't know.